Commander Olivia Mercer expected to die today. The lone survivor of the Hegemony scout fleet, her damaged ship drifted in the debris field that once was 7 advanced warships. She watched through cracked viewports as something impossible happened. The human vessel, a sleek midnight black dagger cutting through space, had appeared from nowhere. Its hull seemed to swallow all light. The Terran stealth frigate Phantom Veil had claimed another victim. The Hegemony laughed when Earth joined the Galactic. Council humans with their simple technology and limited space travel were seen as harmless curiosities. That changed when the border fights began. When the first Hegemony battlecruiser vanished without trace near Sol outer boundary, it was called a navigation error. By the 5th disappearance, it became clear humanity had technology no one had expected as Olivia life support systems flickered, warning lights bathing her blue-gray skin in red light. She made a choice that would change the war. Rather than starting her ship self-destruct as the rules required she would live, she would learn the human secrets. Olivia ran her 4-fingered hands across the control panel, trying to restore power to the main engines. The ship groaned in protest, metal bending as gravity generators failed in sections. Her large pupil-less eyes scanned damage reports. The situation was bad, but not hopeless. If she could restart the backup power cells, the ship might limp to the nearest jump point. Through the viewport, she saw the human vessel moving among the wreckage, its weapons silent now as it scanned for survivors. Olivia knew the standard Hegemony protocol: no prisoners, no surrenders. The humans were expected to finish the job. The Hegemony Council had underestimated these humans badly. Olivia had warned them 6 cycles ago when she worked as a weapons engineer. Her reports about unusual energy readings from the Sol system were ignored. The Council believed their technology was too advanced for humans to threaten. On the bridge of the Phantom Veil, Lieutenant Kate Bishop studied the alien vessel energy signature. Her brown eyes narrowed as data scrolled across her screen. "Ma'am, I detect a life sign." One survivor, Captain Abigail Winters, approached the holographic display. In 15 battles, no enemy had ever survived an encounter with her ship. Her short blonde hair caught the blue light of the tactical systems as she considered her options. "Bring them aboard. I want to know how they detected us." Neither woman realized they had started events that would unravel decades of carefully guarded secrets. The Phantom Veil moved alongside the crippled Hegemony scout ship. Magnetic clamps extended, securing the vessels together. A boarding team led by Security Chief Morgan Riley prepared in the airlock. Their black armor designed to work in vacuum or atmosphere, fingers hovering near weapons. Olivia felt the human ship connect to hers. The metal hull vibrated as airlocks aligned. She had minutes to prepare. Her species was stronger than humans physically, but outnumbered, she stood no chance. She removed her rank insignia and hid it in her boot, then erased the ship logs. A commander was valuable, but a simple pilot might be overlooked. The airlock cycled open. Human soldiers entered, weapons raised. Olivia raised her hand slowly, showing she was unarmed. The lead human, a tall woman with dark skin, approached cautiously. "We have a survivor, Captain, requesting instructions." Through the soldiers' helmet comm came a reply. "Secure the prisoner and bring them to interrogation. Sweep the ship for intelligence, then plant charges. We leave no evidence." Olivia was bound and led through the airlock into the human vessel. She memorized every detail. The ship interior was matte black, absorbing light and sound. Minimal lighting guided paths along corridors. The humans moved with practiced efficiency, their technology both familiar and alien. The Phantom Veil hummed with power so quiet compared to Hegemony ships. Olivia noticed no vibration from engines, yet they were clearly moving. What drive system could operate with such silence? The technology gap was wider than the Council believed. They passed through security checkpoints, each more restricted than the last. Human crew watched with curiosity, some with open hostility. Few aliens had ever seen the inside of a stealth frigate. None had lived to report it. Captain Winters waited in a small room with white walls that stood in stark contrast to the rest of the ship. A single table, 2 chairs, and bright lights completed the interrogation setup. "You should not be alive," the captain said, studying the alien prisoner. "No one survives contact with my ship. Olivia remained silent, calculating. Her chances: the humans might kill her once they extracted information, or they might keep her as a research subject. Either way, her mission was clear: learn their secrets, find their weakness. The ship suddenly accelerated. Olivia felt artificial gravity compensate smoothly. They were leaving the battle zone, likely heading to a human military base. Her time was limited. Lieutenant Bishop entered with a datapad. Captain, preliminary scans of their vessel are complete. The alien ship never locked targeting systems on us. Their sensors were standard hegemony issue. Nothing special. Captain Winters looked confused. Then how did they detect us through the stealth field? Bishop shook her head. They should not have been able to. The field was operating at 100% efficiency. According to all our models, we were completely invisible. Olivia watched the exchange with interest. The humans did not realize their mistake. They had crossed paths with the hegemony fleet by pure chance. The humans believed. Their technology was perfect, but Olivia knew better. Even perfect technology had flaws if you knew where to look. As the humans discussed the implications, Olivia felt the ship change course again. They were moving faster now, likely toward Earth. The war was about to enter a new phase, and she was at the center of it. The lone survivor would become either the downfall of humanity or its unlikely ally. Only time would tell which path fate had chosen for her. The interrogation room aboard the Phantom Veil was designed to scare visitors. Stark white walls made a sharp contrast against the ship's otherwise black interior. Olivia sat without moving, her four-fingered hands bound to the table. She worked out the chances of her survival. "How did you track us?" Captain Winters asked for the third time, walking around the table. "No detection system in the known galaxy can see through our stealth field." Olivia stayed quiet, her large pupil, less eyes following. The truth would sound like a lie. They had not tracked the Phantom Veil at all. The humans had made a mistake. They crossed paths with the hegemony fleet by pure chance. Lieutenant Susan Harper, the ship science officer, entered with a data pad. "Captain, I checked their ship sensor logs. They never detected us, not until we were already firing." "That is impossible," Winters said, but doubt showed in her voice. In the shadows of the watching room, Admiral Caroline Porter observed with growing worry. The Phantom Veil program was her creation, the result of 15 years of secret research. If the alien had survived by chance, it meant their perfect stealth technology was not the unbeatable weapon they believed. What none of them knew was that Olivia had a genetic difference rare among her species, a heightened sense that allowed her to feel subtle gravity changes. She could not see the Phantom Veil, but she had felt its presence like a whisper in empty space, seconds before the attack started. As night cycle began aboard the ship, Susan found herself returning to the prisoner cell. "I do not understand how you survived," she admitted. Olivia looked up. "Perhaps," she said in carefully practiced English, "your ship wanted me to." The words hung in the air between them. Susan frowned. "What do you mean by that?" Olivia tilted her head, studying the human scientist. "Your stealth technology is impressive, but not perfect. Nothing is perfect. The universe seeks balance." Susan crossed her arms. "Is that some kind of alien philosophy?" "A simple truth," Olivia replied. "Ships like yours create ripples, small but detectable if you know what to feel. That information could change everything." Susan realized the entire stealth program was built on the belief that they were truly undetectable. If there was a flaw, any flaw, the advantage might be lost. "What can you detect exactly?" Susan asked, trying to sound casual. Olivia smiled, a strange expression on her alien face. "You should ask what I cannot detect." "That would be a shorter list, Admiral." Porter watched the exchange through security cameras. She pressed a button, opening a comm line to Captain Winters' end. "This conversation now. The prisoner is manipulating your officer in her private quarters." Captain Winters reviewed the interrogation footage. Her orders were clear: extract any useful information from the alien, then transfer them to Earth high security facility. The hegemony would not remain quiet about losing an entire fleet. Their response would be swift and brutal. A knock at her door. Lieutenant Bishop entered. Captain, we received new orders from Fleet Command. The Phantom Veil is to return to Earth immediately. The alien prisoner has been classified. Level 1, Security Risk. Winters nodded. That makes sense. This is the first time anyone has survived an encounter with a stealth frigate. The brass must be worried. Bishop hesitated. That is not all, Captain. The other stealth frigates have been recalled as well. Something big is happening. The Phantom Veil changed course, moving at maximum speed toward the Sol system. The ship engines hummed, barely audible, a testament to human engineering. Olivia felt the slight shift in acceleration from her cell. The humans were scared, that much was clear. They feared what she might know. In the ship medical bay, Susan analyzed the alien biological scans. The results puzzled her. The prisoner brain activity showed unusual patterns, particularly in regions associated with spatial awareness. She compared the readings to standard hegemony profiles, finding significant differences. This might explain how she detected our ship. Susan muttered. Dr. Allison Kim. The chief medical officer looked over her shoulder. Those readings are fascinating. I have never seen neural activity like this before. The sensory processing is completely different from standard hegemony physiology. Susan wondered, could the prisoner have some kind of natural ability to detect spatial distortions? It would explain how she sensed our ship despite the stealth field. We should report this to Captain Winters immediately. Dr. Kim said, this could represent a serious threat to stealth operations. Susan hesitated, something holding her back. What if there were more like Olivia out there? What if the hegemony started breeding or engineering soldiers with this ability? The entire human defense strategy would collapse on the bridge. Captain Winters received troubling news. Long-range sensors detected multiple hegemony, warships moving toward Earth-controlled space, bigger ships than before, heavy cruisers and possibly a dreadnought. The hegemony was done with border skirmishes. This was War Admiral Porter appeared on the main screen, her face grim. Captain Winters, your new mission parameters are being transmitted now. The Phantom Veil will not return to Earth. The risk is too great if the hegemony captures your ship with their officer aboard. Instead, you will proceed to Outpost Theta, hide in the asteroid field and await further orders. Winters acknowledged the command. But Admiral, what about the prisoner? Porter expression hardened. The prisoner represents an unacceptable security risk. Terminate immediately. No record. No evidence. The communication ended, leaving Captain Winters with an uncomfortable order. She had killed enemies in battle, but never an unarmed prisoner. Her military oath demanded obedience. But something felt wrong about this entire situation. Lieutenant Bishop approached Captain Sensors. Detect unusual energy signatures from the prisoner cell. The alien appears to be emitting some kind of low-level radiation. Winters frowned. What kind of radiation? Not harmful. Bishop clarified, but unusual. It matches no known hegemony technology. Almost, like a beacon. But too weak to transmit beyond the ship. A tracking device, Winters realized, or some kind of biological transmitter. Get security down there now. Full containment protocols. Security Chief Morgan Riley led a team to the prisoner quarters, weapons ready. The cell door slid open, revealing Olivia sitting calmly on the floor, eyes closed, her skin glowing with faint blue light. What are you doing? Riley demanded, her weapon aimed at the alien center. Mass. Simply meditating, Olivia replied, opening her eyes. The glow faded. Is that not allowed? Riley ordered her team to scan the room for hidden devices or transmitters. They found nothing yet. The energy readings continued. Olivia was the source, not something she carried in her lab. Susan worked, frantically trying to understand the phenomenon. The energy signature matched nothing in human databases. It was as though Olivia's body naturally produced radiation similar to certain deep space phenomena. A thought struck her, bringing both excitement and dread. What if this was how hegemony ships communicated without detection? What if Olivia was part of a biological quantum entanglement network? Her presence on the ship might compromise everything. Susan rushed to find Captain Winters carrying her findings on a secure tablet. This changes everything. Captain, the alien is not just sensing our ship. She might be transmitting our location without conventional signals. Winters' face hardened. That explains the kill order. She turned to Riley. Prepare the prisoner for immediate termination. As Riley and her team moved toward the brig, alarms blared throughout the ship. Proximity alert. Multiple vessels detected on intercept course. On the bridge, Bishop called out readings, hegemony signatures. Captain, 6 warships appearing from hyperspace. They found us impossible. Winters snapped. The stealth systems are fully operational. How could they track us? Susan looked at the tactical display with growing horror. The hegemony ships formed a perfect circle around their position as if they knew exactly where to find the phantom veil. It was not luck or chance. They had been led here in her cell. Olivia felt the shift as the ship prepared for battle. She closed her eyes, concentrating on the energy flowing through her body. The humans did not understand what they had captured. She was not just any hegemony officer. She was something far more valuable and far more dangerous. A living navigation beacon created by secret hegemony scientists. The first of her kind. The Hegemony Council declared war 3 days after losing contact with Olivia Fleet Earth. Having kept their stealth frigates secret even from their Galactic Council allies, found themselves alone in the growing conflict aboard the Phantom Veil. Now running silent in deep space, Captain Winters prepared for battle. The ship had escaped the hegemony trap by making a desperate jump to light speed, suffering damage to several systems in the process. The stealth systems were partially compromised, and engineering crews worked non-stop on repairs. We are being hunted. Lieutenant Bishop announced, her fingers moving across tactical screens. 3 hegemony cruisers are sweeping the sector with new sensor technology. Olivia, now under guard, but allowed limited movement around the ship, watched the humans with growing interest. They were physically weaker than her species, their technology less advanced in many areas, yet they had created something revolutionary with their stealth systems. During a rare moment alone with Susan Harper in the ship hydroponics bay, Olivia revealed a truth the humans needed to hear. The hegemony has adapted. They have deployed quantum resonance scanners based on technology from the Arcturus Collective. How would you know this? Susan asked, suspicion clear in her voice. Because I helped design them, Olivia replied. Before I was a commander, I was a weapons systems engineer. And your stealth technology has a basic flaw I discovered during my first night aboard. The ship shook violently before Susan could respond. On the bridge, alarms blared as Captain Winters stared in shock at the tactical display. Impossible. They found us again. The first torpedo struck the Phantom Veil hull as Olivia made her decision. The humans' arrogance had blinded them to the truth. True invisibility was impossible, but perhaps together they could create something better. The Phantom Veil engines roared to life as Captain Winters ordered evasive maneuvers. The ship dove beneath. The incoming fire-banking, hard-to-port 3 hegemony cruisers appeared on the main view screen, their massive forms bristling with weapons. How did they find us? Winters demanded, as the ship rocked from a near miss. They tracked her energy signature, Susan explained, rushing onto the bridge. The alien is emitting some kind of quantum beacon. I think she was engineered as a tracking system. Winters turned to Security Chief Riley. Secure the prisoner now. Prepare for emergency space. Walk. Riley hesitated. Captain, you want us to space the alien? Winters ordered sharply. We cannot let them track us. Susan stepped forward. Wait, Captain, I think she wants to help us. Help us. Winters laughed bitterly as another hit rocked the ship. She led the enemy right to Sanu. Susan insisted. She revealed their tracking technology to me. She knows how to counteract it. The ship lurched as a direct hit damaged the port engine. Captain, damage report. Lieutenant Bishop called out, hull breach on deck 3. Engineering reports. Power fluctuations. Drive efficiency down to 60%. Weapons still online. Winters made her choice. Take us into the asteroid field. Prepare all weapons. Lieutenant Harper, take the prisoner to engineering. If she can help, she has 5 minutes. To prove it. Otherwise, she goes out the airlock. The Phantom Veil limped toward a dense field of asteroids seeking cover from the pursuing cruisers. The human ship was faster, more maneuverable, but damaged. The hegemony ships moved with cold precision, herding their prey toward a dead end. In engineering, Susan worked frantically alongside Olivia, bypassing safety protocols to access the stealth drive core. This goes against everything we know about phase-shifting technology. Susan protested even, as her hands continued the delicate adjustment. Your understanding is incomplete, Olivia explained. You try to make your ship invisible. The true advantage is in becoming unpredictable. The alien hands moved with surprising skill across the human controls. Her 4 fingers manipulating holographic interfaces with precision. Susan had never seen an alien grasp human technology so quickly, almost as if she had studied it before. What exactly are you doing? Susan asked, watching as Olivia rerouted power from non-essential systems, creating a ghost field. Olivia explained. Simply hiding is no longer effective. We must make them see many ships when there is only one. We must create confusion on the bridge. Captain Winters received increasingly desperate communications from Earth Command. The other stealth frigates had been discovered, 3 already destroyed. The hegemony's sudden technological leap had turned humanity's secret weapon into a liability. How much longer? Winters asked over the comm. 10 minutes. Susan replied, glancing at Olivia, who was deep in concentration, her alien fingers dancing across control panels. The tactical officer voice cut through the tension. Captain, they found us again. 3 warships closing. Fast. Winters made the call. All hands abandon ship, set collision course. Wait. Susan's voice crackled over the comm. We did it. The modifications are complete. In the engineering section, Olivia stepped back from the control panel. The stealth core glowed with unusual energy patterns, pulsing with colors never seen before. Her modifications combined human stealth technology with theoretical principles from her own research. What she created was neither human nor hegemony, but something entirely new. The ship shuddered as the modified systems came online. Power levels fluctuated wildly before stabilizing. Captain, it is done, Olivia announced through the comm. Try your stealth system now on the bridge. Winters hesitated briefly, then gave the order. Activate stealth drive. What happened next became legend in both human and hegemony records. The Phantom Veil did not just disappear from sensors. It appeared to split into dozens of ghost signatures, each seemingly real, scattered across 2 light minutes of space. The pursuing hegemony, ships confused by the phantom readings, fired blindly into the void. Meanwhile, the actual frigate slipped between them, its weapons precise and devastating. Within minutes, too, hegemony cruisers drifted powerless, their main systems destroyed by surgical strikes. The third retreated, jumping to light speed with a damaged drive core. In the aftermath, as the engineering team verified their miracle, Captain Winters summoned Olivia to the bridge. The alien walked with quiet dignity past human crew who stared, with mixture of fear, respect, and confusion. You saved my ship, Winters acknowledged, her voice carefully neutral. While Olivia studied the tactical display showing the disabled hegemony vessels. The Phantom Veil modifications continued to generate ghost signatures, keeping them hidden in plain sight. I saved myself as well, Olivia pointed out. The hegemony would execute me now that I helped humans. I made a strategic choice, but it is more than that. Winters pressed. You could have modified our systems to fail at a critical moment. You gave us a weapon that will change the war. Why betray your people? Olivia turned, her large eyes reflecting the stars visible through the view screen. They are not my people, Captain. Not anymore. She explained that she was born in a hegemony laboratory, her genetic code modified to create enhanced spatial awareness. She was meant to be the prototype for a new kind of living weapon, a biological navigation system that could track ships through hyperspace. I was property, not a person, Olivia said simply. When I showed too much independence, they made me a military commander, a role where my death would be inevitable and useful. My abilities make me valuable. My thoughts make me dangerous. Susan joined them on the bridge. The modifications are stable, Captain. The ghost field generator is functioning beyond expectations. We can maintain it indefinitely. What exactly did you do? Winters asked. We shifted the approach entirely, Susan explained with excitement. Traditional stealth technology tries to absorb or deflect all detection. Instead, the ghost field takes the small amount of energy that inevitably leaks and amplifies it in random patterns, creating false positives that overwhelm enemy sensors. The hegemony believes in perfect solutions, Olivia added. They seek absolute control, absolute stealth, absolute power. But perfection is impossible. Imperfection properly managed is more effective. Admiral Porter appeared on the main screen, her expression cycling from anger to confusion to calculation as Winters explained the situation. The modified frigate had not only survived, but destroyed 2 enemy cruisers using technology neither humanity nor the hegemony fully understood. Bring her to Earth. Porter ordered. Finally, we need to understand exactly what she did to our systems, and Captain, this alien is now the most valuable intelligence asset in human space. Do not lose her. After the communication ended, Winters turned to Olivia. You understand what this means? She said softly. You gave us the power to win this war. Olivia studied her unexpected ally. Why help us? Because Olivia answered. The hegemony fears what is different. They would rather destroy than understand. I recognized something in you humans, a reflection of what my people once were before fear ruled them. As the Phantom Veil set course for Earth, its ghost field generating countless phantom signatures across the sector. Susan found Olivia in the observation lounge staring at the stars. We make a good team, the human scientist said quietly. Olivia nodded. Perhaps the first of many. My people and yours have more in common than either side admits. The Hegemony Council fears human unpredictability. I see it as your greatest strength. Susan smiled that. And our stubborn refusal to die when we should. Olivia expression shifted into what Susan recognized as laughter. Yes, that too. You are gloriously imperfect creatures. It makes you adaptable. And adaptation is the true path to survival. The Phantom Veil continued its journey toward Earth, carrying with it the seed of a new alliance. One that would reshape the galaxy in ways neither humans nor the hegemony could imagine, the ghost field. The Phantom Veil limped toward Earth, orbit its ghost field technology, working beyond expectations. The once feared stealth frigate now even more dangerous, as it appeared to be a dozen ships at once, confusing hegemony sensors throughout the system. Earth Space Command had prepared a special reception. Admiral Caroline Porter waited in the high-security docking bay, surrounded by armed guards. The first alien to voluntarily assist humanity in the war would be treated with caution. Despite her apparent help, the ship docked with a gentle bump, magnetic clamps securing it to the station. Captain Winters led the procession. Olivia, walking beside her with Security Chief Riley following close behind. The alien drew stares from everyone they passed her, blue-gray skin and large pupil, less eyes marking her as clearly non-human. Admiral Porter. Admiral Winters said with a salute. The Phantom Veil reporting mission successful with unexpected developments. Porter nodded, her eyes fixed on Olivia. So this is the hegemony officer who decided to help us. Engineer, Olivia corrected. Not officer, I was weapons engineer before forced military service. Porter raised an eyebrow. Whatever you were, you are now the most important alien in human space. Follow me. Our scientists are eager to understand exactly what you did to our stealth technology. They walked through heavily secured corridors, passing multiple checkpoints. Earth Orbital Command was a massive station serving as headquarters for the human space fleet. The war with the hegemony had transformed it from administrative center to military command. Screens showed tactical displays of the conflict zones, hegemony forces pushing at the borders of human space. Lieutenant Susan Harper joined them at the third checkpoint. Admiral, she requested permission to join the technical briefing. My experience with the ghost field modifications might be useful. Porter studied the young scientist. Your reports were quite thorough, Lieutenant. Very well. You may join us. The briefing room contained the top military scientists in the Earth fleet. Eager faces turned toward Olivia as she entered. Some showed curiosity, others suspicion. A holographic display in the center showed the Phantom Veil schematics, focusing on the modified stealth system. Olivia stepped forward without waiting for introduction. "The ghost field is not merely an upgrade to your existing technology," she began. "It represents a fundamental shift in approach." She manipulated the hologram, with practiced ease expanding the engine core display. "Your stealth technology attempts perfect invisibility, absorbing all detection energy. This is fundamentally flawed. The universe abhors perfection." "Energy always leaks, Admiral." Porter frowned. "Our stealth systems were effective for years. The hegemony never detected our ships until recently." Olivia nodded. "They developed quantum resonance scanners using principles I helped design. Your stealth absorbs conventional scans but creates a quantum shadow. A black spot where nothing exists. That absence is detectable." The room fell silent as the implications became clear. Their perfect invisibility had become a perfect target. "But the ghost field," Olivia continued, "takes the opposite approach instead. Of trying to disappear completely, it creates controlled energy leakage, multiple false signatures that overwhelm enemy sensors. They see too much rather than nothing." A scientist raised his hand. "If I understand correctly, instead of being invisible, we now appear to be many ships in many places." "Exactly," Susan answered. "The enemy cannot determine which signature is real and which is a ghost. Each appears authentic to sensors." The discussion continued for hours, Olivia explaining the theoretical principles while Susan described the practical implementation. Both women worked seamlessly together, drawing diagrams, adjusting simulations, answering questions. The human scientists gradually moved from suspicion to excitement as they understood the breakthrough. Meanwhile, on the Phantom Veil, engineering teams began reverse engineering the modifications, preparing to upgrade the entire stealth fleet with ghost field technology. Captain Winters oversaw the process. This innovation came just in time. 3 more stealth frigates had been lost to the hegemony in the past week. The tide of war was turning against humanity. That evening, in her assigned quarters, Olivia stood by the viewport watching Earth rotate below. The blue planet was beautiful, so different from the red desert world where she was born. The hegemony capital was a place of strict order and control. Earth seemed chaotic, vibrant, alive. A chime at her door. Susan entered carrying a datapad. "Evening, Olivia. Thought you might want to see this." The pad showed footage from the first test of a newly modified stealth frigate, the USS Shadow Dancer, implementing ghost field technology. The ship vanished from sensors, then reappeared as multiple signatures spread across the Jupiter orbital range. "It works," Susan said with satisfaction. "Preliminary results show the ghosts are indistinguishable from the real ship." Olivia smiled. "There is still room for improvement. The energy matrix could be more efficient. Less power consumption would allow for more ghost signatures." Susan sat on the edge of the desk. "I've been authorized to form a research team, you and me leading a group of engineers to refine the ghost field. Earth Defense wants this technology deployed fleet-wide. Within 3 months, the hegemony will adapt," Olivia warned. "They always do." Susan nodded. "Which is why we need to stay ahead of them. The Admiral wants you to share everything you know about hegemony, sensor technology, weapons capabilities, FTL drives. Everything." Olivia's expression grew serious. "They ask for much. What do they offer in return? Protection." Susan said, "Your knowledge makes you a target. The hegemony has already placed a bounty on your head. Alive or dead." Olivia laughed, a strange sound to human ears. "They want me silenced. The Council always feared my research. They saw the applications but not the implications." "What implications?" Susan asked. "That perfect control is impossible," Olivia explained. "That adaptation is superior to perfection. That diversity creates strength. The hegemony built their empire on the myth of perfection. Any challenge to that belief threatens their power." Before Susan could respond, alarms blared throughout the station. A voice came over the comm system. "All personnel, battle stations, hegemony fleet detected entering the system. This is not a drill. Repeat, all personnel to battle stations." Susan grabbed Olivia's arm. Come on, we need to get to the command center. The command center was chaos, officers rushing to stations as reports flooded in. Admiral Porter stood at the central table studying a holographic display of the solar system. 5 hegemony dreadnoughts had appeared at the edge of the system, accompanied by dozens of smaller ships. The largest attack fleet ever assembled. Captain Winters joined them. Admiral, all stealth frigates report ready for deployment. 4 have been upgraded with ghost field technology. The others remain on standard stealth protocols. Porter nodded. Deploy all ships, stealth frigates to lead the attack. Hide in the shadow of Mars and strike when they pass. Conventional fleet to form defensive perimeter around Earth, as orders went out. Susan pulled Olivia aside. What are they doing? The hegemony never commits dreadnoughts to direct attacks. They are too valuable. Olivia studied the tactical display, her eyes narrowing. They came for me. Susan looked shocked. How can you be sure? Look at their formation. Olivia pointed to the hologram. The dreadnoughts should be in standard pentagon pattern for maximum firepower coverage. Instead, they form a containment net. Their goal is not to destroy Earth, but to ensure nothing escapes. Their sensors are all configured for detection, not targeting. Susan realized what it meant. They think you brought the ghost field technology to Earth. They want to make sure it doesn't spread to other systems. Olivia nodded. The hegemony fears this technology more than they fear humans. She turned to Admiral Porter. Admiral, the hegemony is not here to win the war. They are here to contain what they see as an infection. Porter frowned. What do you mean? If they cannot recover me, and all knowledge of the ghost field, they will sterilize this system. Olivia said grimly. They carry planet killers, weapons designed to render worlds uninhabitable. The command center fell silent as the implications became clear. This was not a battle for territory or resources, but for survival. Captain Winters stepped forward. Then we stopped them. Here and now, deploy the modified frigates. Have them generate ghost signatures of our entire fleet. Make 5 ships look like 500. Admiral Porter considered, then nodded. Make it so. Captain Winters, the Phantom Veil, leads the attack. Use every trick this alien has taught you as the human fleet mobilized. Olivia watched with mixed emotions. These humans fought with determination and creativity, qualities her own people had sacrificed in their pursuit of perfection. The ghost field technology represented everything the hegemony feared: change, adaptation, unpredictability. Susan touched her arm gently. You don't have to do this. They are no longer your people. Olivia straightened her shoulders. I know. But what happens here will determine the future of the galaxy. The hegemony must learn that change cannot be contained, that imperfection can be strength. Together they watched as the human fleet moved into position. The stealth frigates vanished from conventional sensors, then reappeared as hundreds of ghost signatures swarming across the solar system. The hegemony fleet hesitated, confused by the seemingly impossible numbers. The battle for Earth had begun, and with it a new chapter in galactic history, where ghosts fought against those who feared change. Admiral Porter stared through the one-way glass at the alien who had changed everything. You realize the Joint Chiefs want you executed as a traitor to your species. Olivia remained calm. And yet here we are discussing terms instead. 6 months had passed since the battle for Earth. The modified ghost field technology had confused the hegemony fleet enough for the human stealth frigates to strike with deadly precision. 3 enemy dreadnoughts destroyed dozens of cruisers, damaged the remaining. Hegemony forces had retreated, their confidence shattered by technology. They could not counter. The war had reached a stalemate with both sides, suffering heavy losses as the human stealth frigates, now all equipped with ghost field technology, continued to strike. The hegemony could not find the real ships among the phantom signatures, their sensors overwhelmed by false positives. The hegemony has requested peace talks, Porter admitted. First time in their 1,000-year history they ever backed down. Susan Harper, now promoted to commander for her role in adapting the alien technology, entered with a data pad. The final modifications to the Ghost Fleet are complete. All 12 frigates are operational with the advanced matrix Olivia designed Earth's position had changed dramatically. From isolated newcomers to the galactic stage, they now held power over even the oldest spacefaring civilizations. The ghost field technology, combining human creativity with Olivia theoretical breakthroughs, had rewritten the rules of space warfare. "What happens to me now?" Olivia asked, though she knew the answer. "That depends," Admiral Porter replied, sliding a document across the table. "How do you feel about becoming the first non-human citizen of Earth?" Olivia eyes widened slightly, the only sign of her surprise. "Why would you offer this?" Porter smiled thinly. "Because sometimes the best weapon is not a ship or bomb, but an idea. You represent something the hegemony fears more than our fleet. The possibility of change. The concept that their way is not the only way." Susan stepped forward, adding, "You gave us more than technology. Olivia, you showed us a new approach to problems. The ghost field principle has applications beyond warfare. Our scientists are already exploring uses in medicine, communications, energy distribution. The fact that you betrayed the hegemony to help us," Porter continued, "makes you a powerful symbol. A statement that even their most valuable assets can choose a different path." Olivia considered the document before her. "The hegemony created me to be a weapon, a tool without choice. Now I am offered citizenship rights, freedom to pursue my own research." The irony was not lost on her. The human supposedly inferior beings understood something the hegemony, with all their advanced civilization, had forgotten: the value of choice, the strength found in diversity. "I accept," Olivia said finally. "The hegemony will not stop with peace talks. They will eventually try to eliminate the ghost field technology, and everyone who understands it, I can help prepare for that." Day Porter nodded. "Then welcome to Earth, Citizen Olivia Mercer. The peace conference begins tomorrow. Your presence will be required." The peace conference took place on neutral ground, a space station orbiting Proxima Centauri. Representatives from 27 civilizations watched as Captain Winters and Olivia entered together, a powerful symbol of what many had thought impossible. The hegemony delegation visibly recoiled at the sight of their former engineer standing alongside the humans, but the terms were already set. A new era of galactic politics was beginning, one where humanity's unique approach to technology and warfare had earned them respect. The lead hegemony negotiator, Archon Vex, his gray skin darker than Olivia's, approached after the formal proceedings. "You betray everything our civilization stands for." "Citizen Mercer," he said, the title sounding like an insult. Olivia met his gaze without flinching. "Your civilization stands for stagnation." Archon. "The pursuit of perfection has become a religion, blinding you to new possibilities." The Archon leaned closer, speaking in their native language. "Do not think this is over. The Council has authorized all resources to recover you and eliminate this ghost field technology. The humans are a temporary problem. You are an abomination." Olivia smiled. "The humans would call that reaction sour grapes." Archon. The hegemony delegation departed, leaving Olivia with Susan and Captain Winters. "Did he threaten you?" Winters asked, having noticed the exchange. "Only the usual promises of doom and destruction." Olivia replied, "The hegemony never changes, which is precisely their weakness." Susan touched her friend's arm gently. "We need to discuss the next phase. The ghost field has defensive applications, but we should explore more." Olivia nodded. "I have been working on several ideas. The technology could be adapted to create a shield that not only protects but confuses enemy targeting systems, a ghost shield that makes the protected object appear to be in multiple locations simultaneously." As they walked the station corridors discussing technical possibilities, Admiral Porter approached with an Earth government official. "Citizen Mercer," the official said with formal politeness, "the Earth Council has approved your request for research funding and facilities, your own laboratory on Mars with a staff of 50 scientists. The ghost field innovations have earned you considerable political capital." Olivia bowed slightly. "I am grateful for the opportunity. My work with Commander Harper has only scratched the surface of what is possible." Porter added, "The Council also approved the Joint Human Hegemony Refugee Program. You proposed. The first ships carrying hegemony citizens seeking asylum will arrive next month. This news pleased Olivia more than anything else. There were others like her within the hegemony people who questioned the obsession with perfect order. Scientists, artists, thinkers who saw other paths. They had contacted her secretly through encrypted channels after news of her defection. Spread. Winters shook her head, still amazed. I never thought I'd see hegemony citizens defecting to Earth. They seek what all sentient beings desire, Olivia explained. The freedom to question, to explore new ideas, to make mistakes and learn from them. The hegemony denies these basic needs in pursuit of their perfect society, 1 year after the Battle of Earth. Olivia stood in her laboratory on Mars overlooking the massive construction project below. The first joint human-alien settlement was taking shape, a dome city housing 20,000 residents from 12 species. The ghost field principles had been adapted to create energy shields, weather control systems, and communication networks. Susan entered carrying celebration drinks. Today is the anniversary of our first meeting, she said, handing Olivia a cup. With the traditional human custom of marking important dates, Olivia accepted the drink. No one survived first contact with Earth's stealth frigate until me, she mused. How strange that chance encounter changed everything. Susan smiled. It wasn't just chance, though, was it? You felt our ship when no one else. Could your genetic differences made you unique? Olivia nodded. The hegemony created me to be their perfect sensor, an organic detection system for stealth technology. They never imagined I would use that ability to help their enemy. They stood together, watching the sunset turn the Martian landscape golden. The settlement below hummed with activity. Hegemony refugees worked alongside humans, creating something neither civilization could have built alone. The Phantom Veil has been fully rebuilt, Susan mentioned now, serving as a diplomatic vessel rather than a warship. Captain Winters still in command. The symbolism is appropriate, Olivia replied. The ship that once brought death now carries messages of cooperation. On the other side of the dome, another group worked on a different project. The first ghost field exploration vessel. Its revolutionary drive system would allow it to appear in multiple locations, simultaneously confusing not just sensors, but space itself. The ship would explore regions previously too dangerous, pushing the boundaries of known space. This is just the beginning, Olivia said, gesturing to the settlement and the shipyard beyond. The ghost field teaches us that strength comes from embracing uncertainty, from being neither fully visible nor fully hidden, but somewhere in between, exploring the spaces others ignore. Susan raised her cup, a toast, then to imperfection and to friendship across the stars. Olivia matched the gesture, smiling in her alien way, to ghosts and to those brave enough to see them. As night fell across the Martian colony, lights came on throughout the settlement, a beacon of cooperation visible from orbit. The first of many such places where different species work together, sharing knowledge and culture. Despite the hegemony, continued resistance change was spreading across the galaxy, the idea more powerful than any weapon that diversity created strength, that embracing imperfection led to growth. In the distance, the ghost field exploration vessel prepared for its maiden voyage, its hull shimmering with energy that made it appear in multiple places simultaneously. A fitting symbol for the new alliance, between species, between ideologies, between friends who had once been enemies. The vessel name painted across its bow in multiple languages glowed in the twilight. The Survivor. A reminder that sometimes the most important victories came not from destruction, but from living to create something new. Olivia watched as final preparations were made. Soon, she and Susan would board, beginning a journey into unexplored space. The hegemony feared what they might find. The humans eagerly anticipated new discoveries. Both perspectives had value. Both approaches would be needed for what lay ahead. No one had survived first contact with Earth's stealth frigate until Olivia, and because she had survived both humanity and the hegemony,